Hi, friends. This is Sarah with Quantum Healing with the Angels. It's been a while since we've talked to you or shared a channeling with you. It's been a really tough few months for us. I hope I can get through this. So about November, I'll just give you a recap of what happened. We talked to the angels about the election in the U.S. We expected things to go one way, and they didn't go that way. And we didn't understand that, and we were upset about it and worried about it not because of who. It doesn't have anything to do with the actual person elected. We don't have a political affiliation. Travis and I have never been political people. It has to do with the timelines associated with each candidate, with what they said the woman would do versus what they said the man would do if they were elected. And when they talked about that, they talked a lot about how a woman would react in a situation versus how a man would react, which that was not anything we expected them to talk about either. But they talked about that quite a lot. They said what the difference would be if the woman was elected versus if the man was elected. Like, I guess the different approaches in a feminine versus a masculine approach to outside stimuli, or what maybe other forces or other countries, if they pushed our buttons, how a woman would react versus how a man would react, or perhaps this woman versus this man. I guess I should say it that way because that's how they described it. And I know that might upset some people, but there's no other way to say it. That's just what they told us. And they indicated that the woman would win the election, and then they went into all the things that she would do, and it was a lot. I remember I asked so many questions because the group that we did it with, they had a lot of questions about that, and so I asked, how's that possible? I asked everything I could from a neutral standpoint for those who didn't like her. Like, how could that be possible? And got all of those answers. And then the election happened, and it went differently than they indicated that it would go. So we didn't know what to think about that. And we didn't do any channelings for a little while because we just didn't understand. But eventually we did. And they told us what happened and why things changed. And again, it is not about who won. It's about the timeline associated with the person who won. That channeling, when they talked about the woman versus the man, I never shared it because politics is such a hot topic and people get really angry, and I couldn't handle that. If you really do, though, want to know, like, that whole story of what happened, why things changed, let me know and I'll find that channeling and put it up for sale. It probably won't be very much, maybe like $20 or something. I know I said it, but I don't care about politics. What I care about is what they said would happen. And so when this election happened, I guess I knew or had an idea what that meant. And I just went into a pretty solid depression. I didn't want it to be true. I was really hoping it wasn't gonna be that bad. And like I said, just for a couple months, I didn't know what to think, and Travis didn't know what to think, and then something else happened to us. Right before Christmas, Travis got in a car accident, and it was a weird thing because he didn't get hurt, and the other person didn't get hurt. And then all of the things that happen after an accident, like, the car was totaled, but it all went really smoothly. It ended up giving us a little bit of extra money that we didn't have. And somewhere in the middle of all that, Travis had a dream, which was more like a conversation, and it was Archangel Uriel, and he was telling him in his dream, well, he was telling him some things about the future that were pretty serious. When he told me that, when he woke up, I said, well, I have questions about that. And so we did this channeling. This is the channeling that is most of the questions that I had and that he had. And I have not wanted to share it with you because I don't want it to be true. And I don't want to scare people. If you've ever listened to us before, you know that we like to send out messages that are happy as much as possible. And I can't say that this is a really happy thing. All I can tell you is this is not us talking. And we would never just say things like this. But I promised I would share it so that you could have a heads up about it. What they told us is the reason we need the extra money is to prepare for these things that are gonna happen. And yeah, I don't know in what order they're gonna happen. I don't know if this can change. I mean, things can always change. And part of me is hopeful that maybe it won't be. Maybe it won't be like this. But I know they're telling us this so that we will be okay. And so that we'll get through all this. It doesn't make it any happier. And you are, of course, free to believe anything you want. But there's someone that you guys are probably familiar with, Bashar, who is channeled by Daryl Anka. And we don't really follow Bashar that much anymore, but just because we don't follow him doesn't mean that I think that everything he says is wrong or not true. And right after the election, someone sent me what Bashar had predicted would happen depending on the person who got elected. When I saw that Bashar had said pretty much the exact same thing, it was just more confirmation. And I actually saw that people got mad at Bashar for saying those things, and also tried to make it into a different thing. But that's not what we're getting. We're getting it pretty much the way he said it. I think this was at his, I think it was a Sedona channeling that he did. I don't know when it was. I just have seen the clip where he asks this girl, she's asking about the election, and he says, "Do you want to really know?" And when I asked the angels about him saying what he said, if it was accurate, what they said is that he can see our future. He has that technology. And so I can see people don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. But there are so many things that the things that have already started happening, like the weird influx of some extra money to prepare the drones, which they explain, and the fires, it just seems like it's going that direction. We did this channeling before the fires, though, so we don't have an explanation about those, but they seem pretty, unusual. And I'm sure we'll ask about them in the future. So I wish everyone what they need right now. They said what happened to us with the car. They said weird things like that are happening for a lot of people so that they can prepare. And you'll hear they go into great detail. So listen closely. If you align with us, listen closely to what they say. Even read along if you want. Like always, it'll be transcribed for you. It's like my friends say, I want things to change. I just don't want to go through it this way. Also, you might wonder why does she seem so happy during this session? It's because when you hear the angels, when they come in, it shifts the energy in the room, and you just feel comforted. And every time he said something that was potentially scary, I felt them pushing light into me, and I felt them just pushing comfort into me. So that's why I sound. It's always like that when they come through. It boosts your mood. Also, let me explain what's happening at the beginning. We had planned to do this channeling in the daytime, but they decided to come through the night before. And while I was getting everything ready, Archangel Uriel was speaking light language, and he was kind of speaking to our cat Coconut. So it is like light language, but it's also sort of in the baby talk that we speak to our cats. It was like they were talking to each other in the beginning. Coconut is kind of funny in this, like he usually is. He wanted food, and I think he wants to be a part of these, so there's a little bit of coconut humor in the middle of all the serious stuff. But at the start, you won't hear much English. You'll hear light language, and then he'll go into talking, regular talking, and answering questions and explaining things. So we are sending you guys a lot of love. Like they've always told us, just do the best you can, with whatever it is that you're dealing with. Just do the best you can. And we are sending lots of love out to everyone. So here we go with our channeling that was with Archangel Uriel right after the new year. So here we go.
No.
It's working.
Ow.
I had to put batteries in
Oh.
the recorder and
Yes. Yeah. Abalaka ba fennemenish pure. Hege. He was up. You know what's in no. Really. I can be wolf for the small. Okay.
let's break it down.
That's got no point. You walk over. Get that to a shell of a dog. More for my never skip it. Yes, che devo capire che lei me ne me fa me ne ci usce che la valasca badole e ne veni musci mi che perché siamo me no così me no ma fa me ne che usce anche poco faceva no mo ne Coco io faccio che usce me no poco
Baby talk.
Coco usce Coco a boca pala nette fisci me ne fu fa e wakala wale oshimo shimofu. Ihi wo shimenala jai. I can't question a mana formano nekiri. Yes, opo I can see me if it will. Eke level never for many she will like for a light. Yes, o kapalatala sadata.
What does it mean, bud?
Koko yosha. Yoshi, why show no manala city faithfully? Yellow one and money for the vala savage. Aha. Oh. Hey.
What does that mean, coconut?
I will say it in human language. Would you like something to eat?
You want something to eat?
Yes. Okay.
What would you like?
The spoon?
A spoon?
Okay. You can now have a spoon.
Okay, I will go get you the spoon. Does TC want anything? Or is TC pretty good? Gravy? Do you want a little bit of gravy? Okay, let's do that. Okay, TC. There's some gravy in there for you. Okay.
As much information as you need.
Who am I speaking with?
This is Uriel.
No. Boy, you caught me off guard. I thought we were going to do this in the daytime, and I didn't have any batteries in the recorder. I had to take them out of something else.
More comfortable this way.
That's true. Yes, for him. Well, that's good.
What would you like to know?
Oh boy. There's so much going on. First question is about your conversation with Travis last night. I think it was just last night.
Yes.
Yes.
There is going to be a lot of things happen.
Okay.
There is a plan to have a new virus come along into your world, starting from a place that you call China. That has also been having something to do with other things going on into your country. That country is in coordination with a certain individual in your country to cause a little bit of chaos, to trick your minds,
Okay.
to confuse your minds. There is a virus that they are planning to give out to scare people again. But this virus is stronger than the other one, and it will cause a lot of pain for a lot of people. It will start in their country first, as always, and then it will skip your country and go into a place you call London, England, and it would hurt them very badly. And they will get angry about it, and then they will get into a war with a place you call Syria for some reason. It will be what you say a made up war, but then that war will spread into other countries trying to help, which also your country will want to protect them, and it will spread, and little things will go around, and it will be called, as you say, World War III, but it will not be the World War III that you think it will be. Most people will think world wars would be like the older ones when it's total chaos, but it will not be that big. It would be called that just to make it sound like it's that big. But it's only because there'd be a lot of countries involved in it, doing little things here and there to each other. But they will not use, as you say, your nuclear weapons because they will not be able to. And we mentioned why they won't be able to before, which is the same. Other beings will stop them from using those weapons.
Right.
So they will still call it a world war, but it will be here and there, different countries doing little things to each other. And they're not necessarily little most of the time because they'll be using viral warfare and little things like that to hit on each other, and so they will call it a world war, but it won't be the world war that you think of. But then there will be what you call a lot of cyber attacks. But your country will have the edge on that because you have the one main person on your side that knows the most about that.
Oh, is that...
This person's higher self says he's a little musky.
Oh, my word.
His higher self calls him the musky man.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
So that being has a lot to do with things like that. It has a lot to do with your little situation about what you call these little machines called drones. He had something to do with that as well. They are doing little things just to test your people's psyche, just to see if they can scare them.
That's the answer I got, but there's been so many different theories, you know?
Yes, because the human mind makes up theories, because it's easy to scare humans on your planet with certain things because they're so used to having things go their way and doing the same thing over and over. When the one thing that different comes along, it scares them.
So is he doing all of the things in the sky right now? Because there are different things people see.
There are different machines they're using for different things. For example, there is a machine that they had in the wild that you call the harp machine. Is the weather machine. And they're making... Some people on your planet called it smoke at first. Then they really found out it was kind of a fog.
Yes, that weird fog with the particles.
It is not particles. It is just a super thick fog. It is not the thin fog that you're used to. It's really super thick to make it look like almost like what you call snowflakes, and it's scaring people because they know that people on your planet get scared of things depending on their size. So they made what you call the fog thicker to make it look like something that would scare them. The bigger you make it, the scarier, the more scared that people get. So they made the fog so thick that it looked like snow. It is what you call a harp machine. And when that machine goes, it has like an electrical smell to it. So
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, people
but
say
they have a lot of little things that they have done. The thing that you call the drones, some of them also sprayed some of that fog as well.
Okay, so that's what is being sprayed off of those.
Yes.
Okay.
And they do have some chemicals in it that can make people sick. But it is not the main thing they are using yet. Because they are just testing to see, okay, we'll try this stuff at first. Then, when we want to, we can put the chemical that can really harm and kill people in it. So they are testing to see if they put the main chemical in there that can kill people, will that work? And they see that it will work.
Why is he behind that? He's supposed to be on our side, so to speak. He's supposed to be helping the U.S.
He is not from your country.
Okay. He is working with the president-elect.
That is true, he is, and he picked the best men to cause chaos whenever they want. Sometimes when you cause since you have your thing called your matrix, certain chaos can break down the matrix in a different kind of way. It won't destroy the matrix. But if you can scare enough people in your own way, it will offset the scare tactics that the reptilians are trying to do to keep people in line. So, there is a war. If we say a war of controlling the minds in a certain way, they say, okay, we know that the reptilians are scaring people, but they are scaring people to keep control over them. So maybe we can scare people just to scare people, not even to control them. And that will mess the controller's advantage up. Because you're just, if we can scare them, not even to control them, just to scare them, then that will screw the controller's control up. It is a very messy game that is being played. Because if you scare people to mess up the infrastructure is part of the matrix.
Yeah.
So if you cause chaos that screws up the controller's chaos, then as you say, in a weird way, that is a good thing, because it's breaking down the matrix in a way that the matrix can control people.
That's why they're doing that?
It will also force the other controllers to do things the right way so people can be happier instead of negative all the time. If you cause a chaos that scares everyone in a way where it breaks down the infrastructure, where they cannot control, as you say, currency, then they lose their control. A lot of their control is dealt with your currency and energy. See, as you say, or the higher selves say, the musky man has a way of giving everyone free energy. But he is trying to do it in a way. If he tries to do it the correct way to get free energy, then he will end up, as he knows, he will end up like the older ones, like the guy or the man you call Nikola Tesla. They will try to destroy him and kill him. So, he knows if he does a way to cause chaos, so much chaos, it will force the other controllers to do things the right way to keep control. As you say, it would force the negative controllers to do things the right way, but to still have control. If they screw up everything like the energy crisis and all of these things, it will force the negative reptilian beings to say, okay, we give up. We will give everyone free energy. Just to calm everything down again, but we can still have control. They're forcing the negative energy's hand by playing the negative energy's own game against them.
Okay.
They say, okay, if we cause all this chaos, the negative energies will lose control, because the negative energy likes to use mind control in certain ways where it only hurts a little bit and still control. But the real humans have kind of figured it out. They said, wait a minute, if we really cause chaos where everything gets broken down, where you almost have to start over again, it will force the reptilian beings to dole out all the things that they know that would help people in a better way, which they've been holding out for years, as we say, free energy.
Right. Yeah.
Like if they crashed the power complex,
Okay.
nobody would have power. Then the negative reptilian beings would be like, well, they got us. Now we have to give them the free energy so they can have energy again and be happy, and we can control them again because they'll be happy. Then we can just. I understand. I am speaking right now. You have your food. You will have to wait.
You've had lots of food tonight, too.
Can I please finish? Thank you. As I was saying, the negative reptilian beings will have to dole out the free energy that they always had for years, and everyone will be happy again. Then they can pity pat around and keep doing little things like they doing now to make people upset here and there, but they can still have the control over them. So, the musky man is trying to push the negative beings into doing something. The negative reptilian beings, even though they're very intelligent, they're kind of playing in his hand. They don't understand. They are not. They do not want to get rid of him yet. They don't really understand that that is why he is doing what he is doing. You think they would be smart enough to realize what he is trying to do, but they do not. It is very interesting.
It is very interesting.
Because you would think the negative reptilian beings would, as you say, try to kill him because he is messing up their plans.
Right.
But he is on another spectrum. And he is kind of, amazingly, he is kind of tricking them into doing what he wants. It is very, very powerful.
People have told me that they have thought this was all happening to keep the president-elect out of the White House, out of, when he's officially put in.
Oh, I see.
Are they planning any kind of trick that way to blame it on someone else?
No, the way your elections happen, he is already elected. You can't keep him out. The only way you can keep him out is if he is deceased. He is already elected. You cannot keep him out. He has already, as you say, won. You can't keep him out.
There are just so many that think he's going to do good things that they're worried that he won't get into office. They'll do something.
No, the only way he would not get into office is if he is deceased, and that is not going to happen. He will cause a lot of chaos. But the musky man, as your higher self calls him, he will keep him in line to a certain point where it doesn't get to the point where it is total destruction of your country, but it will be a lot of things that he does that will upset people.
And people won't know it's him, will they?
A lot of people are very smart, as you see. They're very smart. A lot of them already know that something is really weird about the musky man being so close to your
That is true.
president. There are some people that are even calling him the president.
Because he seems to have more ability to control because he's so wealthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has a lot of currency, so he has a lot of power to do things that he wants. And they are letting him do it. And they will continue to let him do it because the way your country is built is you have all these different chambers that you call the House and the Senate and the... Pretty much one demographic is going to have total power over what you call your White House. You usually have what you call the ones Democrats, and you have something called Republicans. This time around, it is going to be all Republicans controlling everything. Therefore, everything is going to get really bad because they're going to have total power of everything. And they will pretty much do, as you say, what you call your president says, which your president will do whatever the musky man says. Therefore, in reality, as you say, the musky man will be your president.
Wow.
Therefore, and he knows it as well. Your president didn't want to give him a certain position in what you call your cabinet. He is basically playing on your president's higher self. The musky man is playing on your president's higher self. The musky man also can control your president's ego at a certain point.
Really?
Yes.
Because he has all the power? Because he's the one that has all these things? Is that why?
Yes, and he is very, very smart. And the musky man also talks to the country you call China a lot. Because the musky man knows that your country buys a lot of things from the country of China. And China also knows that is how it has most of the power over your country. Because your country does not make things anymore. Yes, I understand. I am telling them, but you already had your food. You have to let us finish this conversation.
Yes, you do, honey.
This is very important information.
It is.
Be, as you say on your planet, be a good boy.
Yeah.
And just listen to the conversation.
Okay. So go ahead and sit. Time to sit. Yes. Okay.
There are a lot of things that are going to be going on this year. So it's a good thing, as you say, to be prepared, which is another reason why we have been giving you some resources so you can prepare.
So that's why that happened?
Yes.
Okay.
And that is why he was not injured. It was just enough to get what you needed to. And it is actually happening to a lot of people.
Really?
In your country and other countries to help them get ready.
I always wondered how we would get ready for this. So that's what that is for.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is another reason why this being that you call Travis is wanting to get the right vehicle. You just have to make sure you get the right one that can maneuver well.
Oh, yes, I understand what you're saying.
And they do have some that look like the one that you found today, because we have been watching you, that are at a lower price that looks like that you can,
Okay.
as you say, purchase.
And
You will find it.
we both kind of saw that, didn't we?
Yes.
Okay.
It is very important.
Okay.
Because there's a very good chance that you may have to use it for that purpose.
To, as you say, when the hits the fan, we might have to get out of here and go somewhere. And
yes, it won't be for a long time, though. It may be only for a short time, because the areas will not be destroyed. They just have to be away from them for a little while until things are straightened back up, and then you will be able to return. So nothing will be totally destroyed, and you will not be out there a long time. Just enough to escape the chaos for a little while. Nothing will be harmed in this domicile. Nothing will be stolen. Everything will be exactly the same as you left it. But you just need to take some things to, as you say, survive. Just to get away from everyone, so you can be at peace while everything is in chaos.
Travis always has that idea. I think you probably give it to him, that he always says when we watch disaster movies, why is everyone on the freeway? You can't get anywhere on the freeway.
People always, they do not realize, but people always crowd together for some reason during chaos, and that is the worst thing that you can do.
Okay.
Because that is the easiest place for them to destroy you. They know that.
Yeah.
So if everyone packs in one place, then they can just destroy you all at once.
So you mean going out to, say, nature? Like where there's not a lot of people? Or places like that?
That is the safest place to go.
Yeah.
The one thing you should not do is take the main routes, because that is what everyone does automatically.
Yeah.
They panic so much, which you would think, if they really think, they should know not to go where everyone else is going to go, because then you will not be able to go, because there'll be too many people on your roadways, and your, as you say, traffic will not move. You have to go where no one will go, so you will have the room to travel and get where you need to go. There are some beings that are lucky enough to have their own air travel where they can avoid all of those things. Some have what you call planes. Some have what you call balloons, where they can avoid all of the traffic, where they can just go anywhere they want at any time without any trouble at all. But if you don't have those things, then you will have to go off-road, where no one else will go.
We don't live in a bit, like a really populated area.
You live in the perfect spot where you can easily go off-road and miss all of those things when it gets that bad.
What about someone like my father who's, sort of out in the country?
He is actually in a good spot where if he has enough, your father is in a good place where he has enough food, he has enough weapons and enough materials where he wouldn't have to even leave his home.
Okay.
He's not weak. He's actually strong enough where he can still hunt for food if he wants. And he's lucky to live in a place where a lot of animals travel through his area. So he could sit and wait and hunt for food there, and he wouldn't have to go anywhere at all.
Okay.
And when the chaos hits, he is in the area where no one would go in those areas doing chaos, because there'd be, as you say, on the highways trying to get away. They don't think to go into the country. So he will be in the perfect spot because no one will go there.
So, okay. So how will we know? Will it be obvious that we need to go?
Oh yes, it will be.
Very obvious.
It will be obvious when you see people panicking. You will know when you need to leave.
Okay.
And you will know that you will know when to leave. You will know to leave before most people get on the road. You will know that you will need to leave before it gets worse. So you'll be able to access the off-road routes to get off-road. And luckily you live close by to places where you can get off-road really easy and travel over the lands without getting on the main roads. There are some roads you will be able to travel on that nobody would want to be on. But you know for sure not to get on the highways. Stay off of the highways. There will be a lot of secondary roads you will be able to drive on, and there won't be many people on. And then every now and then you will have to get off of those secondary roads and go across country to make it to another secondary road where you can travel. So all of the secondary roads would not be, as you say, congested. It'll be mostly the highways that is congested.
Is this when there will be looting, or will that still be later when...
The looting will be happening as well.
Okay.
And no one will be stopping the looting because everyone will be getting what they need.
It will be that crazy.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Sources telling me I cannot say exactly what it will be to cause that. It could be what you say, the fake alien invasion, which they're still planning on trying to do, which is why they are testing the fake fog scenario, the virus scenarios. Those are all tests to see where people's minds are and how scared they can make people.
That's what
They know people are watching for everything now, so they are trying everything. They're still hesitant about the fake alien invasion one because that is the big one.
Yeah.
That is the one that would really cause the major chaos, and they're holding out on that because they know once the major alien invasion chaos happens, that will affect their currency control. Once that happens, currency will not matter. No one will be collecting, as you say, currency to buy things at that time because no one will be there to collect it.
Right.
You have to have people in place to run things. If the world is in chaos, no one is going to be at work, as you say. So they are not going to be able to control anything if they don't have other people controlling other people.
Got it.
Your police officers, as you say, will not be working. Your ambulances will not be working. Because people work to make currency. If the world is in chaos, there is no reason to work because you work to make currency. If the world is in chaos, then what's the point of working? You'll be working for nothing.
Just so people know the extent of this, is this when the military, everyone will not be working? even them.
Yes, that is the thing that your movies have everyone confused over, because in your movies, as you say, you always see the military still working and controlling people when things are the parts of the military will still be working because they won't be thinking about money, because they really do want to protect things. So they will be trying to fire on, as you say, the fake aliens, if they are aliens, because that is what they are trained to do. They will not be thinking about currency. Then they'll just be thinking about, okay, we're the ones that can try to save everyone. So we're just going to keep doing. But at a certain point, if it lasts longer and they see they're not winning, then that's when your military will break down, and they will not even bother to try fighting because they see they will not be able to win. That's when you see your militaries will break down, because they will see, okay, this is not working. I'm going back to my family. I'm not doing this anymore. We're not having any effect on these other beings or whatever. So that would be the total breakdown.
Is it still like you've told us this many, many, many times about making friends with Bigfoot for help?
Yes, that's that scenario is when things really get bad. If they come to that point where everything breaks down, nothing is running, there is no power, there is nothing.
No food, nothing.
The things that you call Sasquatch will still be in their area in the woods, and if you go in the woods, they will not harm you. But a lot of people on your planet will be afraid of those Sasquatches, or Bigfoots, as you say. And those Sasquatches will not go anywhere near them because people will try to shoot at them, even though they can't kill them with their bullets.
Can they read people what they are like and know if they're good?
Yes, they will know if they are good. If they know people are good, then they will stick around and they will try to make contact with you, and then eventually you will be able to speak with them, which sometimes takes a long time. Because when you first see them, even people that believe in those things and never see them, once you see them, they look very scary to you because they're very large, and even if you always wanted to see one, they will scare you at first when you see it. But they will not attack you. They will just stand and look at you and stuff. But if you really, really, really believe in them and love them and will not be scared of them, then they will try to contact you and talk to you. They will not run up on you. They will wait for you to come to them, and then when you really get to know them, they will be the best thing you can have on your side because they're very strong. They will be the best security you could ever have.
Yeah, that's what you said. You've always said that.
And there are some that are not very nice, but that's only because they're trying to protect their land. But once they will know when chaos is happening in the world, and they will know who to mess with and who not to mess with. Like I said, they cannot be killed with your weapons because they're so big and their skin is so thick.
Wow.
The bullets will still make them bleed, but it'll be the bullets will not go all the way through their tough skin.
Wow.
It'll be like them getting bit by a bug or something, or getting bit or a big giant scratch where they still bleed, but they will not die because their skin is so thick. Their skin is like 4 inches thick to get into their bodies, so that's why when When people shoot them, the bullet may go in them, but it will not go into their body. It will just stay in their skin. And they will have to pick the bullets out like everyone else. But because they're very tough beings. Very tough beings.
They are loving beings.
Yes, because they were here before any human was here.
Yeah.
They were here before you call your dinosaurs were here.
Oh, wow. You probably told me that, and I've forgotten because there's so much.
They have been here before you, so that's how they know the land so well.
Wow.
But they do have the power to go through, as you say, portals and things, and they can mesh into things very well, so you can't see them. They can camouflage very well.
Yeah, I wondered if they would be able to teach us that or not.
You already know how to do it, but some of the things that you wear, your military.
Oh, the camouflage.
You can wear, since you don't have fur like they do, you have to wear bushes and things to camouflage. You have to put on stuff to camouflage. You won't be able to camouflage yourself because you stand out too much. You have to wear things to camouflage. But you already know how to do that. Most of you know how to do that.
So even that is important, to have things like that? Like camouflage clothing, if we can?
If you would like, it would be a plus if you would like that.
Yeah, I wanted to know, for the people that are going to listen to this, I don't want to scare people, but I do want to tell them, what things would be most important to get.
The things most important to get is the basic things you already know you have to get. You have to have a certain amount of food, a certain amount of water. Even though you know your water is tampered with, it will not kill you. It is safer. You can save your tap water to drink,
like Travis
for crises,
has been doing,
because you cannot afford to keep buying water that is not tap water.
Yeah.
So it's easier just for you to save your tap water for water, because it will not kill you. Yes, it has a few little things in it, but those things are the things that break down your body long periods of time. If you don't drink tap water all the time, right now you're fine. But it is good to have the water saved for crises, because it will not kill you.
Okay.
It will still help you survive.
You must have told Travis to do that then.
Yes.
Because he has been doing that.
Yes.
And then we do have some things where you can filter the water.
Yes, they have those mechanisms.
Right.
And also the containers that you have the water in, once everything goes awry, if you can get near a river, you can just refill those containers with fresh water. Therefore, you have fresh water in those containers. So it's good to have those containers with the tap water, because once you drink all the tap water, you can just refill it with the fresh river water, and you will be fine.
Would we'd have to boil that, wouldn't we? The river water?
The river water is safe to drink. There is if anything, tap water could be boiled to make it safer, but you still drink it. But river water, the only water you will have to boil is water that is standing still.
Still water, okay. I see.
So if you go to a lake, you will have to boil that water, because that water is not running fresh water. It has been sitting.
Yeah.
So you have to boil that water to be safe. But river water is always fresh, because it is fresh water. It is running water. It is always running, staying clean. But any water that is in any kind of hole or anything, standing water, you would have to boil.
Got it. Okay.
So if you find yourself lucky enough to get close to a lake, then you would have to boil that water just to be on the safe side, and you wouldn't have to boil it for hours or anything. Just you can boil it for a few minutes, just enough to boil it, because once the water gets hot enough, it kills any bacteria very easily just because it's so hot.
Okay.
So you don't have to boil it for like an hour or nothing like that. Just as long as it's boiling, you can boil it for a few minutes and it is fine. It kills all of the bad things in it, and it'd be safe to drink. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Batteries. Will batteries work then?
Yes, it's to a certain point, but it's best to get what you call your solar equipment, so you don't have to use batteries.
Okay.
But it is good to have both.
Yeah.
Because you can use your batteries as backup just in case your solar gets damaged. Then you can use batteries.
True.
So batteries is only for backup.
Okay. Okay. This is wow. This is so crazy.
It is good to know these things because they are planning on doing something very drastic. So everyone that is feeling something negative is going to happen is correct. But anyone that is feeling everything is going to be fine is totally wrong. Because they do not want to believe it. They think everything is just going to be the same. A lot of people that think they're not trapped in the Matrix are trapped in the Matrix.
There are a lot of people that feel that things are going to go great because...
No, it is not, unfortunately. And they're trying to decide if they want to do it slowly or if they just want to go out with a bang.
So they want to do this so badly that they don't care if they hurt people? I mean,
they do not care about people. They just want their objective done because they know the future will be better. As they always say on your planet, some sacrifices have to be made for things to go the way, in a good way. But
that's their thought.
Here in the light, sacrifice is a word that does not exist because everyone signed up for that position for things to go through. Sacrifice does not exist here in the light. You signed up to be in that position to get things to go where they're supposed to go. Sacrifice is a non-existent word. Because a person that is not trapped in the Matrix knows things right now is not good. Just because you think everything is normal and everything's running day to day like it's supposed to, you're not living the way you are supposed to be living. This is not the way you're supposed to be living. Like we said, you're not supposed to be working to live. You're not supposed to be living the way you be living to live a free life. Everyone should be having fun with their families. No one should be working to get what they need. No one should be having to have currency to get what they need to live. That is not living. So they think everything is fine, and it is not.
I think some are concerned if they think along these lines, it'll manifest. So they're probably trying to think of positive things instead.
Yes.
So that it won't happen.
They think they're thinking positive things, but it is not. The positive way of thinking is knowing you should not be working for money. The positive thing is to know you should have free energy. Those are positive things.
But most people on your planet think free energy is a myth.
Yeah.
Therefore, that is not positive thinking. Positive thinking is knowing you should have certain things all the time without having to live in the slave world by working to get it.
I think, we try to make the best of our situation, which that I think is a good thing, but
That is the only good thing that is happening is for them, they think they're making the best of it, but they're really not. But that is the way you've been living for ever since they created the Matrix.
right.
Because that is the way they wanted you to live. So you think you're living good, but you are not. You will be living good once everything is broken down and you do not have to work for what you call currency to buy things. You will be living well when everything is given to you, when everyone is working together to get things to keep living the way you're living. It is possible for you to have everything you have now without having to work for it. If everyone just worked together and did a certain job to keep things going, you can have everything you have now for free. And most people on your planet cannot wrap their heads around that. The reason why they can't wrap their heads around that is you've been living the way you've been living so long that it's in your genes.
Right.
And you have been taught how to do certain things to make money, to buy things. You shouldn't have to buy anything. It should be given to you through free trade, by trading with each other, by making things and just giving things to help people live. All the same.
I know you're telling me the truth because we've been talking to you for 3 years. I know that you've been telling us things like this all along, and I knew there were timelines that could change, and
Yes.
and it was upsetting that the timeline, even though it didn't completely change, some things changed. But I believe you when you say these things are going to happen. I guess time will tell, right?
Yes, time will tell. A lot of people, as you say, are afraid of losing things. Therefore, they don't want to think about chaos.
It's not that I want this either. It's just, I suppose you've told us so many times.
Yes.
Maybe that's why it's more in my head.
Yes. That is why we tell you that some of your, as you say, movies that you make about chaos, when you watch those movies, there are some that you watch. If you really watch it closely, it will kind of bring you peace because you'll be like, wow, there's no traffic. Yes, people are having to try to scrounge and hunt to get food, but everything is peaceful because there is no noise.
Right.
You can hear everything. You are free to do whatever you want at any time without anybody questioning you about anything. You're roaming free. You're living free without any control at all.
Because they can't watch us and listen to us if the grid is off, right? The electrical.
Yes, and they won't be watching you because they probably won't be on your planet anymore. They'll probably have moved on because they don't have any control anymore. Because they don't have any.
The reptilians, or
yes, they won't have any. If you don't, your power grid is very important. If they don't have any power over anything, then they can't control you. Nothing will work without a power grid.
Right.
If there is no power grid, they cannot control you anymore. You are totally free.
Somewhere in there, the ETs would have to show up, or I think we would fall apart.
Yes, they would show up. And if they show up, they will show people how to do things
Right.
the better way. And then you will have your free energy and power back, and then you will be able to do things a different way. But the reptilians, the reptilian race will not be around on your planet anymore. Their control will be gone. Therefore, you will be free. Your matrix will be broken down.
Do those who are planning the president-elect and the other man, do they know they're reptilians? Do they actually know that that's who they're fighting or going against?
They do not know that they're reptilians because they do not believe in alien beings.
Okay.
But they just think that there is a secret government controlling everything.
Okay.
But they don't realize that the main secret government is reptilians. They just believe that there is other humans causing all of this chaos.
Okay. Yeah, I wondered that.
The one you call your president, they have told him about those things, which he kind of believes in them, but they have not shown him those beings.
That's right.
They only gave him a little bit of information because he has, as you say, a big mouth, and
Yeah.
he will just say things. So they didn't. He's the only president in your history that they have not given him all of the alien technology information because they do not trust him to keep his mouth shut.
And you said that the other one, after the aliens come, he will turn good. The one that has the drones.
Oh yes, they will. Once he realizes that they are real, then he would want to speak to them as well because he's like, well, they have better technology than I do. I want to see. He will want to get to know them because he will want to know how they do what they do, just to make things better. So he will collaborate with him.
The Musk man, as you call it.
So the things he is doing is very sketchy and everything, but it is almost complete.
Right?
He is doing those things to kind of rush it a little bit more, and it may seem bad, but at the same time, it is a little bit good that he is doing that because it is confusing the Matrix.
It is confusing. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier. There's so many things happening, so many reports already. I didn't know this, but there are reports of bird flu and like weird things in other countries.
Yes, those are minor viruses they are trying to use, but they have bigger ones that are way worse that they're waiting to use that will really cause the chaos.
Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. Are they going to try to get us to take an injection again?
They always try to get people to take, because people want those things. If there is a virus out, they want something to take. So they will always have something for someone to take.
Are they putting that in other things too that we don't know about? Like, they have some weight loss drugs that are injectable that are these new fancy things.
They are getting away from little things like that now. They are concentrating on bigger things.
So they're not putting it in those things?
No.
Okay.
And they are not necessarily messing with your food anymore either. They're trying to speed up the process. Those things take too long to kill off, as you say, people. They're trying to go into mass killings as you say now.
And which side is this? the reptilian side, the bad.
The reptilians do not control the food things. It is the secret governments that. It is your secret governments that are putting things in the food.
It gets very confusing.
The reptilians are only about mind control.
Okay.
They do everything to control people's minds. Simple things. Basically, as you say, simple things to make people work for money and work and all of those things. The reptilians only control people's minds to make them do things they want. They don't do things physically.
Okay.
They do everything mentally to make people do things physically.
So this place.
The reptilians control your secret governments that is causing the. So basically, the reptilians are telling the secret governments to do the bad things.
Okay.
They're all about mental control to make people do things they want.
There's all kinds of corruption. I can't keep up with.
Yes, there are many layers to how these things are done.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for your power grid, they wouldn't be able to do any of these things because they need the power grid to make electronic things work or certain things work. But if there was no power grid, then the reptilians would have no power.
Okay.
So that's why we say a long time ago, as you say, back in your medieval times and stuff, the reptilians had to do things, as you say, the old school way by doing things the spiritual way by getting people to do things. That's why you got your exorcisms and that's where your religion plays a part. But when the Matrix was built, it made things easy for them to say, oh, well, we can just control, because people want things. So we can make this, just keep making people want things. So we'll keep making technology. The more things people want, the more we can control them. That is why it's so easy for them to control people now, because you got so much technology. It's easy to make people do crazy things than it was back in the olden times, as you say.
Okay. All right. This is a lot to take in. I hoped it didn't. I hoped it wouldn't happen this way, but I suppose I knew.
It pretty much has to happen that way. That's the only way you're going to get where you need to be. It is not going to get the way you want it without some kind of chaos.
And this is not a political thing, right? Because some people may think that you're speaking about a political party that's bad and one that's good, and that's, you've always said they're playing a game.
Your politics, as you say, is stupid because they do not even do anything. This has nothing to do with politics. This is all about total control. Your politics only deals with little small things that has to do with currency. Your politics is all about currency. They do the little things to make people upset. That is what your politics is. These other things that are going on with you call your drones and the fog, and it has nothing to do with politics. This is on a whole totally different level. It has nothing to do with your politics, because your politics is only for your country. This is a global thing that is happening, so it has nothing to do with your politics.
And those things that people are seeing in the sky are any, because some people are saying those are UFOs.
No, they are not.
Okay.
Those are things created from the government that you call China and the Muskie Man to scare people.
Is this part of why, we have a drone that we use for work, or that we did use. Is that why they're trying to make it so hard for people to fly those? I think they passed a law even.
They want to get it to a point where no one would be able to fly those mechanisms at all.
Yeah, I started noticing that.
Because you can see everything from the air really good from those, and they don't want no one to be able to see. Because if you have one of those when they have this secret alien invasion, yes, they can shoot them down if they wanted to, but you'll be able to see a lot of things in the air with those, as you say, you call drones during the secret invasion, and they're not going to want you to be able to see what you can see with those things. So they may get to a point where they just outlaw drones and altogether, and the only people that can operate them are people in law enforcement or your military.
What does the government think the drones are? Do they know? Do they know who's doing it?
Not all of your government.
Okay.
Only some.
Okay.
They do know that they're not alien technology, though.
Okay.
They just think it's another country doing it, and they do not want to tell people in your country that it's another country doing it, because they don't want to cause too much panic.
That's why they haven't said anything.
Yes.
What are the blobby round things? Is that just more technology? Do you know what I'm talking
What
about?
are you describing?
Oh, there are things that look like drones, but there are also round things. And they look sort of like orbs, but not exactly. They look like technology. It looks like a round thing. They see them sometimes along with the drones.
Those are portals.
Really? Oh, do you mean the big ones with the like a loop? The ones that look like a loop?
Those are portals.
Why are those opening up?
They always have been here.
Is it just that we're looking up more?
Yes.
Wow. There are some very small ones that they see at night, though, along with the drones that glow and they like change colors.
Those are portals as well. Some portals are bigger than other portals.
Wow.
The only reason why you're seeing it so much now is because more people are looking up now. Most people were not looking up at the sky before then. They were looking at, as you say, your phones. Or they were never looking up in the sky. The only reason why they're looking up in the sky now is because of the things you call drones. So everyone is looking up now. So now they're seeing things they should have been seeing the whole time. But the only reason why they're seeing them now is because everyone is looking up now. They have always been there.
Are those people coming in or going out? Or
it's both. It is for the extraterrestrials you call going in and out of your planet.
Okay. Wow. Now, I know people will want to know this. When the real ETs come, it will be unmistakable, right?
Yes. Because they will not do like they do now, where they just pop in and leave and pop in and leave. They will stick around. They will hang in the air for days. Once they do that, then they will not be able to be hidden anymore. The only reason why they can lie about those things now is because they don't stick around. They will just float in and they will take off and they will not stay. And they also haven't gotten close enough where you can really get a good look at them. Once they come in, you can really see the size of the ship and what the ships look like in your movies. Then they will not be able to hide them anymore.
And everyone will know for sure that those are up there and real.
Yes, and they also plan on doing the fate invasion that way as well. But once they do that, then the real ones will come in,
Right.
because the real beings will use that as an invitation to show themselves as well. They was like, okay, well, if you're going to do that, we'll just show ourselves as well, up close, so you can see us, instead of us popping in and out and far away where you can barely see what the size of the ship is. We will get super close where you can see us.
Okay. I was thinking about all this, and I remembered a time when Edgar Casey came through just for a minute. He talked about 2 countries. Is that still going to happen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. He said the lion? Is that right? And the bear? Or did he say something different?
He mentioned a bear.
Yes. Which I would think would be Russia.
The bear is Russia. The bear will die.
Okay.
And another bear will take his place.
Oh, I see. So the leader. Is that what that means?
Yes.
Okay.
And that bear will be angrier than the first.
Oh, so that could contribute to this whole debacle of war.
That is in the future.
Future. Beyond these other things? Or?
Yes, but not far beyond.
Okay. Wow, this is going to get wild.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. So I know people, want to know what to do. If I could tell people anything, I guess I would say meditate. And I would say learn how to do light language, because it's so healing.
Yes, those are very important. But unfortunately, there are still people on your planet that think that's just fairy tale stuff. Some people are learning it, but people on your planet, as you say, are hard-headed and they want things the easy way.
Yeah.
Most people are even too lazy to even meditate.
I know.
You can tell them those things, but some will do it and some will not, because they think it is all fairy tale stuff.
Well, that's how we know. We usually get feelings about things.
Yes, that is true. Most people get feelings about a lot of things, but then they will just ignore it because they're too busy, as you say, working and trying to make. They don't have, as you say, time to do those things, to meditate, which they do, but they think they do not have time to do it. And they also think that it is a bunch of nonsense because things don't happen as fast as they want it to. So they just ignore it and just keep doing the things they always did to make currency and live.
Yeah.
So you cannot make people do it. You can give them the information, but if they do not do it, then that is on them.
Well, it keeps that connection, stronger, so that you do get
Yes.
and you do get help and nudges, and you can talk to your higher self and all kinds of things.
Yes. So it is very important to keep an eye out on things and watch.
Okay.
Watch very closely is what's going on, and yes, prepare. The things you are thinking about doing is the right things to do.
Okay.
Because you will have everything you need, and you will be safe. But you do have to make sure you have the perfect vehicle. Yes. It does have to have a lot of room. That is very important. That is why your husband is pushing for so much room, because you will need it. It cannot be... It doesn't have to be huge, but it has to be the right size.
Is it like the tires we were talking about?
That is very important, but the inside of the vehicle has to be roomy.
Okay.
And the thing that you saw today, you have to get one of those. That will fit on top of the vehicle.
The tent.
That will come in very much handy, because that way you will not have to be inside of the vehicle that much.
Okay.
You can also, if you plan on being in a place for a long time, you can also use that. You can also build around the vehicle with wood and the tent to make a home. Almost build it like a garage, where you can have the opening open, so just in case you have to leave in the vehicle, you can pull out of the garage home.
Yes.
So you can build around the vehicle as well, where you can have a home around the vehicle and a home in the tent. So you have a home inside of a home.
So it could be that long that we need to build something like that.
It could come to that point as well, where you can get logs and build around and make a home inside of a home, and your vehicle will be your escape vehicle, just in case you have to pull out very fast.
Would you still tell people, like you told us before, to get seeds to plant?
Yes, because if you find a very good spot, you can grow your own garden around your home, close to your home, where you can have a variety of the vegetables.
So what you told me is, if you don't know how to grow a garden, you can Google it, you can go on YouTube and watch videos.
Yes, it is very
or get a book.
Easy to grow a garden. If you get into a nice fertile area with a nice soil, you'll be able to grow anything.
Okay, so that's still a good thing too that people could do.
Yes.
Okay.
And when you grow your garden, you can make sure you put a security fence around the garden, just to keep certain animals out, so it doesn't eat your vegetables. So you will have a secure place to live.
Okay, goodness gracious.
And you will probably have to have some weapons as well for your security. But not... If you're in a very good spot, you won't need them.
Okay.
Unless someone... It's possible that someone can find you, have to protect yourself, but it is good to have weapons. Most of the weapons will be to hunt with, but yeah, it's good to have them for protection as well.
Okay.
Just in case.
Wow.
You have to take care of someone that is you do not want in your area, or trying to threaten your area.
Yeah. Okay, gosh. Wanted to ask you if there's any reason I've been so tired lately.
You have been tired mainly because of stress. It has nothing to do with your health.
So I feel like I'm coming back. I'm okay.
Your health is fine. You were stressing.
Okay.
And you're also stressing over world events that you shouldn't be stressing over yet. You just need to watch. Don't stress over what's going to happen. Just watch and strategize what you're going to do next. Just keep an eye on everything. Because you're not going to be able to control the bad things that happen. You will be able to control how you get out of those situations. But stressing over or worrying about what's going to happen to other people is not helpful.
I will probably leave this in here for all the empaths who think the way I do, you know?
Yes, because it is not, as Source says, it is not helpful for you to worry about anyone else because they have nothing to do with you. You're not being selfish. It's just you are preparing yourself. When you are preparing yourself, you have to be selfish because you don't live with those other people. Therefore, you don't have anything to do with them.
Yeah.
You have to think about self-preservation. And that is not being selfish. That is being smart and resourceful.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you for that.
You can give people information on things to help them, but you cannot worry about them because you do not live with them. That is not going to help you.
Yeah. Well, I did want to do this so that we could share it for the people that will believe it.
Yes. Please share because
Please share. Okay.
something is coming and they need to know what to do.
Yes. That's why I wanted to talk to you, and I was missing you. I was missing you too.
We have not been speaking because it was not the time yet. You have other things you are needing to have done first. Us speaking to you why that is going on is not going to help you. You know what you need to do, therefore you should do it. But this being in you felt it was a need to come in, which actually tonight was the perfect night to come in because you are almost done completing what you need to do.
Yeah.
It will be completed, as you say, next week.
Okay.
And you will be moving forward.
Good. For those who have pets, is there anything they should do for their pets?
Yes, just take care of their pets like they always do.
So bring food for them.
Yes, that is obvious.
Right.
And they will know what to do. I do not need to tell people how to care for their pets. They know how to do it.
Well, I was just thinking, we have cats. They're not used to being anywhere near outside. We might have to get, well, I think maybe we have leashes, but just some safety things.
That is the reason why I told you to get the vehicle that you need, because
okay.
you'll be able to use that for them, for space for them to move around and other things. You have to get things for space.
Yes. Okay.
1 second. We are almost complete.
I think that's all I need. That's what I really wanted to know.
Yes, make sure everyone... I understand. Source is telling me to make sure everyone understands that they have jobs to do to protect themselves. Watch what is coming and strategize your next move. Strategize an exit program for you and your family. That is your main thing to worry about now. Because something big is coming very soon.
Okay. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate it so much.
I must conclude and he must rest.
Okay. Thank you, Uriel.
Thank you for listening to Quantum Healing with the Angels. This podcast is sponsored by Web Quantum Healing. Contact us today for your free consultation and mention this ad for 10% off your BQH or Soul to Soul Quantum Healing Hypnosis session.